Most people think disrespect is random. It's not. It's psychological. When someone disrespects you, they are not attacking your words. They are testing your emotional stability. They are looking for a reaction, because reaction is control, and control is power. Here's the uncomfortable truth: people provoke you to measure your self-control. The moment you react emotionally, you silently give them dominance. That's how power dynamics work. In social psychology, the person who controls the emotional temperature controls the frame. And if you lose your frame, you lose authority. But why do they target you in the first place? Disrespect usually comes from three hidden motives: insecurity, competition, or manipulation. Insecure people provoke to elevate themselves. Competitive people provoke to destabilize you. Manipulative people provoke to study your triggers. Notice something. None of this is about you. It's about what they gain from your reaction. Here's where it gets dangerous. When someone insults you, interrupts you, mocks you, or subtly belittles you, they are not just being rude. They are testing boundaries. They want to see, are you emotionally disciplined or emotionally predictable? Predictable people are easy to control. Think about this carefully. If someone can press your emotional buttons anytime they want, who really has the power? Exactly. Psychological dominance doesn't come from raising your voice. It comes from emotional restraint. When you react impulsively, you validate their attempt. When you remain composed, you disrupt their strategy. And disruption creates uncertainty. Uncertainty creates respect. This is why high-level individuals master emotional control psychology. They understand that disrespect is often a strategy, a manipulation tactic, a subtle power play. The goal isn't to hurt you, the goal is to move you. And here's the psychological hook most people miss. People only provoke those they feel threatened by or curious about. Nobody wastes time testing someone irrelevant. So when someone disrespects you, pause, observe, analyze. Instead of asking, why are they attacking me? Ask, what are they trying to gain? That shift alone changes your internal power structure. The strongest position in any social conflict is emotional neutrality. When you refuse to be triggered, you become unpredictable. And when you become unpredictable, you become untouchable. Now the real question is this: are you reacting out of ego, or are you thinking strategically? Silence is not weakness. It is psychological pressure. Most people misunderstand this. They think power means speaking louder, arguing harder, proving themselves immediately. But in real social dynamics, the person who reacts first usually loses control of the frame. When someone provokes you and you instantly respond, you enter their emotional battlefield, and the battlefield they choose will always favor them. That is how manipulation tactics operate. They trigger you, you react, and now they are guiding the interaction. But when you don't react, something unusual happens. The energy shifts. Human psychology is wired to expect response. Action, key reaction, insult, anger, disrespect to defense. When that pattern is broken, the brain experiences uncertainty, and uncertainty creates discomfort. That discomfort silently transfers power back to you. This is the power of not reacting. Emotional control psychology teaches that dominance is not about aggression, it's about stability. When you remain calm under pressure, you communicate something deeper than confidence. You communicate self-possession. And self-possession is intimidating. Think about it carefully. If someone tries to insult you, and you simply look at them calmly, without emotional change, what happens inside their mind? They start questioning themselves. They wonder if their words failed. They begin to feel exposed. Silence forces the aggressor to confront their own behavior. Here's the psychological hook most people never realize: when you react emotionally, you confirm that their opinion matters. When you stay silent, you signal that their attempt was insignificant. And insignificance is unbearable for someone seeking dominance. In social power dynamics, the calmest person controls the room. The one who maintains emotional discipline controls the narrative. Because reactions are predictable. But restraint is unpredictable, and unpredictability creates psychological leverage. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions blindly. It means choosing when to respond instead of being programmed to respond. There is a massive difference between controlled silence and wounded silence. One is weakness. The other is strategy. High-value individuals understand this instinctively. They don't rush to defend themselves. They don't explain unnecessarily. They don't chase validation. They observe first. They calculate. Then, if necessary, they respond with precision. And often, they don't need to respond at all. Because the ultimate form of dominance is this, being so emotionally grounded that no external behavior can shake your internal state. Now ask yourself something uncomfortable. When someone disrespects you, do you feel compelled to prove your worth? Or can you remain still and let your silence speak? That difference determines who holds the power. Emotional control is not just self-help advice. It is strategy. And if you study the philosophy of Machiavelli, you'll notice one brutal pattern: power belongs to those who master perception, not those who express emotion. In conflict, the biggest mistake most people make is revealing their internal state too quickly. The moment your face changes, your tone sharpens, or your body stiffens, you give information away, and information is leverage. The more someone understands your triggers, the easier you are to manipulate. Machiavellian psychology operates on one core principle: control yourself before attempting to control the situation. Because if you cannot govern your own reactions, you cannot influence the dynamics around you. Think about social power dynamics for a second. When someone tries to provoke you, they are not just attacking, they are gathering data. They want to see how fast you react, how deeply you feel, how predictable you are under pressure. This is emotional intelligence in reverse. They are scanning for weaknesses. Here's the psychological hook: most people ignore. Anger exposes priorities. If something instantly angers you, it reveals what you're emotionally attached to. And once someone identifies that attachment, they can use it. That's why emotional discipline in conflict is so powerful. When you remain composed, you deny your opponent useful information. You become unreadable, and unreadable people are difficult to control. In Machiavellian conflict strategy, appearing calm while thinking strategically is a form of dominance. You don't rush to correct. You don't rush to defend. You let the other person talk. You let them expose their insecurity, their aggression, their intent. Meanwhile, you maintain your frame. Frame control is everything. Whoever controls the emotional frame controls the outcome. If you step into their emotional chaos, you lose positioning. But if you hold your emotional center, you force them into your rhythm. And here's where it becomes powerful. When you don't react, you subtly communicate. You don't move me. That message is louder than any argument, because influence begins where emotional stability is visible. Most people fight to win arguments. Strategic thinkers manage perception to win long-term. They understand that reputation is built on composure, that respect grows around controlled energy, that real authority doesn't panic. So the real question becomes this: when conflict appears, do you become emotional or do you become strategic? Because in every power struggle, one person is reacting and the other is calculating. High-value individuals don't wait for permission to feel respected. They define their own boundaries. That's the essence of the untouchable mindset. When someone tries to insult, belittle, or provoke you, their actions are meaningless unless you let them matter. Understanding this is the key to transforming every slight into silent power. Most people make the fatal mistake of treating disrespect as a personal attack. They react immediately. Their ego flares, their voice rises, their body tenses, and in that split second, they hand over control. The manipulator doesn't even need to be conscious. Your reaction is enough to reinforce their influence. But if you pause, observe, and detach, you reclaim that control instantly. That pause is where dominance begins. Psychologically, humans are wired to respond to conflict. Insults trigger the fight or flight instinct. But mastery over oneself means overriding instinct. When you observe rather than react, you send a subtle, almost imperceptible signal: you are untouchable. You are in control. And the person trying to provoke you feels the shift. They sense that their power over you is gone. And with that uncertainty comes respect. Here's the powerful secret few understand. The untouchable mindset doesn't require proving yourself to anyone. It's not about intimidation or aggression. It's about embodying composure so consistently that others cannot influence your emotional state. People instinctively notice strength, even if it is quiet. When you maintain this calm authority, it disrupts their mental map. They begin to second-guess their actions, unsure if they can manipulate you. This is why identity matters. High-value people protect their inner state as fiercely as they protect tangible assets. Emotional resilience becomes a form of currency. Every slight they ignore, every provocation they withstand, compounds their influence. Each instance silently teaches observers, this person cannot be shaken. And here's the psychological hook most people miss: people only respect what they perceive as earned. Emotional stability isn't passive, it's a strategic investment. By responding with calm instead of reaction, by transforming insults into nothing more than background noise, you send a subtle yet powerful message: your energy is yours alone. No one else controls it. Ask yourself, when someone tries to undermine you, do you scramble to defend your ego, or do you maintain your internal fortress? That choice alone determines who truly holds the power in every interaction. The untouchable mindset is not an illusion. It is the ultimate weapon in social dominance. The untouchable mindset is the final stage of psychological mastery. It's more than staying calm or ignoring provocations. It's transforming every insult, every attempt at control, into your silent advantage. People think power is about confrontation. They think dominance is about aggression. But the truth, proven by Machiavellian strategy, is that real power is invisible. It is subtle, it is internal, and it cannot be taken from you. When someone tries to provoke you, they are looking for one thing: a crack in your armor. They want a reaction, a sign that their words, their actions, can move you. Most people respond, immediately handing over authority. But when you remain untouchable, when you take every attempt to manipulate and turn it into nothing, you flip the dynamic entirely. Suddenly, they are reacting to you. They are unsure of your limits, and uncertainty is the foundation of respect. Psychologically, humans are drawn to strength they cannot measure. The moment you refuse to react, your silence speaks louder than words. It communicates control, confidence, and intelligence all at once. Every person watching senses it, whether they intend to or not. And this is why the untouchable mindset isn't just a strategy for conflict, it's a magnet for influence. Here's a psychological hook most people miss. Insults and provocations are energy. That energy can either fuel your ego, making you react predictably, or it can fuel your dominance, making you untouchable. By redirecting that energy inward, you transform every slight into a tool. You grow stronger while others waste theirs. They try to drag you into chaos, and you remain composed, calculating, untouchable. The highest form of power is not visible to the eye. It is felt. People notice it instinctively. They sense the emotional discipline, the internal fortress, the unshakable calm, and they respond accordingly, with curiosity, respect, and even fear. That is how influence multiplies silently. That is how reputation is built without words. Now, reflect on this. In every interaction where others aim to destabilize you, do you react instinctively, feeding their power? Or do you absorb, observe, and transform that energy into your own invisible strength? The untouchable mindset is the ultimate answer. It is the psychological weapon that guarantees no one can ever manipulate, provoke, or control you. And once you embody it fully, nothing anyone says or does can ever touch you again.